In this section, I'm going to demonstrate how you can maintain something static on screen even though your camera is moving through the scene. Let me hit preview and demonstrate what I mean. You see here I've got a score up here, and this is my actor, and I've got the movement attached to my arrow key, so I'm just going to move it across and let it drop and let you see that the score will not scroll with the rest of the scene. And there we go, we're going down here, we're moving along, and so on and so forth. And I believe I have a double jump hooked up. Yes, I do. This was basically our camera control exercise that I took, and I added the static score element on the stage. Let me show you how that's done now. I'm just going to go back here. It's basically done by creating a new layer, and that new layer will host your static element. And let me just show you where we get that. If you go up here, we've got the Scene tab. I'll click on the Scene tab, and then below here we've got Layers. And you'll notice here, I've actually got a few of them. Here's the background layer, which if I open that up, it's got basically all the elements of the game. If I open up Score Still, it's got the one element, and I can highlight it, which is my static score on screen. And you'll notice here, and this is the important part, is that that layer has had its scrollable features turned off, so it's unchecked. And this was just another added layer that I'll use to demonstrate. Actually, let me delete that, and we'll create a new one here. So again, I've got a layer, and inside of that layer is my element that I want to separate from the rest of the game, basically, and turn off its scrollable feature, and that's what keeps it in place. Again, I'll just hit preview, and you'll see how that works. So we're going down, 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 but regardless, that score stays in its designated spot. So let's just quickly create one here. I will use that same actor. I go to my scenes and to my layers. I'll create a new layer. And with that layer highlighted, whatever I drag to the stage will go into that layer, but I will confirm it and come back here. So I'll go back to Game. I'll grab Hero, or rather Score, and I'll just drag it below here, I guess. And I'll resize it a bit. And because I use the prototype, it should still have that display text feature inside, but let's double check here. And there we have it right there. Now if I want to change the opacity of the background color, that's what this gray swatch is. I could go in here, click on the colors chip, and there's my opacity slider right there. Now that's one of the features that can be unique on the stage without breaking it away from its prototype. So if I go in here, I can actually double click it here, go edit prototype, and just change that. There we go, and there it is. Okay, so let's just preview this. Actually, let me make sure of something. I'll go back to my scene, go to my layers. Here's my new layer, but what's important is that I turn off the scrollable feature. I'll actually leave it on right now so you can see the consequence of that. We'll hit preview. And it was down here when I put it in the scene. And you'll see here that it does move along with the rest of the game. And that's what we want to avoid. So let's go back here. And we'll go to our scene, to our layers. Layer 1, I'll turn off scrollable feature. Click preview, and it should stay with that other score, and it does. Now there's one thing you might have noticed, is that it's currently behind the game elements. So if I want to change the stacking order, I just go back to those layers, and I can literally drag the layer and bring it up on top of the pile. Now this one will be on top of everything else, and if you hit preview, you'll see it'll be in the front. There we go. Now if I don't want to see that gray box, again, I could easily go in here and turn the opacity down to 0. This is the background color that I'm affecting. And you don't see it here, but it is there. And there we go. So that's how you can fix an element on the stage and keep it separate from the rest of the game. So give that a try today.